Hey guys, Alec Peirce at the ranch with another problem. I seem to have a non-stop, never-ending list of problems. But anyway, it's part of the fun, and I enjoy working on these machines. Today I'm working on a chainsaw, and it's an Echo CS310, good old chainsaw. Works really, really well, light, fast, powerful. It's got everything going for it. So what's the problem? Well, the problem is that I'm trying to measure something, and it's very, very difficult to measure. Even though I have all the proper tools, it's very difficult for me to measure this particular spot. So I'm going to show you a little trick. It's not entirely my idea, got to be honest. So the chainsaw's in terrible condition. It's terribly dirty. I'll show you a picture of it, before and after picture of dirt. But I got it back. This is my brother's chainsaw. It's my dear brother Jim on the farm in Lindsay, my old hometown. Everything's pretty good here, and I've cleaned it all up and re-greased and so on. So what's the problem? Well, that drum is held on by a washer and what's commonly called an E-clip. It's kind of like a C-clip with only 3 points of contact. And that washer and then the drum and the bearing are all held in place on that shaft by that E-clip. Now, I tried to get a new E-clip, because E-clips, by their very nature, they wear out. Off and on, they're spread each and every time. And I happen to know that this particular E-clip has been loose and has been squeezed to make it tighter. I know that's happened because I did it. But I also know that, and that's not proper practice, by the way. I also know that I did that because I knew I was going to replace it. They're cheap. 50 cents. If you pay 50 cents, if you pay $1, you pay way too much for that little E-clip. Now, if it's got Echo or Husqvarna written on the side of it, it'll be 10 times that. But anyway, they're all the same. They're pretty much all the same. And I have a bunch of E-clips here in my shop, in my bins, all kinds of E-clips. Unfortunately, none of my E-clips fit. My E-clips are all SAE, or what's called imperial, inches. And tried them, and I got one a little bit too tight, and one's a little bit too loose. Obviously, it's in between. They don't make one in between, and that's it's metric. I don't have a bunch of metric E-clips, so I have to get one. I phoned around, couldn't find any. Finally, I found a fellow who's got some E-clips, and he said, "Bring me in the original." And I said, "Well, I can do that, but the original has been squeezed and stretched a few times." He says, "All right, we'll bring me in the shaft size, the diameter of the shaft, this shaft right here that it fits onto." I said, "Oh, that's not a problem. I can do that." So he says, "No, what I need is," he says, "I need the diameter of the groove." Now, right in the top of the shaft, you guys who do any kind of machinery, you know all this, right in the side of the shaft, you can see it right here, in the side of the shaft, there's a little groove right there. Okay? And that's where the E-clip fits in. It fits into that little groove. And I said, "So you want the diameter of the groove?" "Yeah, that's what I want." Well, I was thinking about this, and I said, "All right, I'll do the best I can." And I went and I got my trusty Gray Tools micrometer, and I looked at the jaws on it, and I said, "My gosh, that's not going to work. You can't get them into the groove," I thought. So I was concerned about that. How do I do that? So I thought this is a good opportunity for me to give my good friend Al a call. Al is pretty handy. A good friend of mine. He's a boater, a biker like me, a shooter, and does all kinds of things that he and I enjoy together, have over many years, 35, 40 years maybe. And he happens to be a machinist. So I called Al. "How you doing today? Pass the time of day for a minute." He says, "Al, I got a question for you. I got to measure a very, very small C-clip groove. And I don't think I can get my micrometer in there. How do I do that?" He thought for a minute, you can do this, you can do that, you can do various things. He said, "Why don't you try this? Why don't you get a piece of wire? Get some wire." Okay, well, I got wire. And he said, "Put some wire, get a couple of people to help you, and put a piece of wire in the groove on one side and a piece of wire in the groove on the other side. And then with your micrometer, measure wire to wire, outside wire to wire, you see, and they're sitting in the groove." Why didn't I think of that? Well, that's why I called Al. and it makes perfect sense if you think about it now. So there's a groove around the shaft. We put a piece of wire on one side, piece of wire on the other side. We know the diameter of the wire. That's easy. And that wire goes right down to the bottom of the groove. So we're going to measure from the outside of the wire to the outside of the wire. We're going to get that total distance there. And then all we have to do is subtract the wire from both sides, and we get the diameter of the groove. Easy, right? Now, that's exactly what I did. Now, I didn't have 3 people helping me, so I took a little piece of that stainless steel spring wire, and as it happens, the wire that I have actually has the size printed right on it. It's 0.041 inches, not very wide. And that wire does fit into the groove. So I put the wire down in the groove just like so. And since I only had myself to work with it, I had to make this funny shape. And I did that, and I squeezed it in there like so. That wire is in the groove on each side. And now I just have to take my micrometer and set it 2 inches, and just very carefully, I hope I can get this into the picture, just very carefully, I grab that on each side. I'm going to squeeze the wire into the groove, like so, and I get a reading of 315.315. I think you can see that. And you see what I'm doing. I'm measuring, in total, I'm measuring the diameter of the groove plus the wire on each side. Nothing to it. 315. Okay, so I know that the wire is 0.14 because it says 0.41 because it says so on the package, and I measured it as well with my gray micrometer. So I measured it. So now I got 0.358 is the total diameter of the groove and 2 wires, and then 0.041 twice is 0.082. So I took 358.358 and I subtracted 0.082, and I come up with a number 0.276, which is the diameter of the groove. Yeah, thanks, Al. Yeah, worked really, really well. So now I know the diameter of the groove. So now I can go to the fellow here and get the proper E-clip. So it'll snap right in there and be right. Now, after having doing all of that, I said, hey, that's pretty neat. That worked really, really well. I was pretty pleased with myself. And Al, I'm going to keep mentioning Al because really, to be honest, he helped a whole lot. Yeah. He gave me the idea. But anyway, I thought, well, maybe I'll try and look at these my micrometer. So what I did then, I played. I actually tried it. I gave it a try. I actually gave it a try. I put the micrometer in the groove, and the bottom edges, the leading edges of the micrometer, in fact, as you can see, are quite thin, and I was able to put it into the groove, and I squeezed this side into that side, in the groove on both sides, 276. And a gray micrometer was able to do the job anyway. If you happen to have this particular problem, any of you guys working on machinery, and these E-clips are quite common. My dad, I hope this doesn't offend anybody. Well, I don't really care, but my dad used to call these Jesus clips. Yeah, where there were sear clips, internal, external, or these E-clips, he called them Jesus clips. One day I said to him, fine, I said, Dad, what do you call them, Jesus? He says, because every time we go to put them on or take them off, they fly off and they land on the gravel on the far side of the workbench. You can't find Jesus. They're gone. Again, anyway, interesting. But there you go. If you happen to have that particular problem, trying to measure a very, very tiny groove on a shaft, well, there's a tip for you. Get some wire, put the wire in the groove, measure the total, subtract the wire, and you have the diameter of the groove. Don't know if that's of any interest to you, but it was kind of fun for me. Let's get back to this chainsaw. I got lots of wood to cut. And I look outside, look at the pile of wood that Dan and I have to cut. So I better get this chainsaw working. Maybe I can borrow from my brother. I got 3 of my own. But anyway, make them feel good. Talk to you soon, guys. Alec, Peirce at the ranch.